We got ourselves Team 1 with Beefy Mikey, Grim Grip. We got ourselves Kentucky. We got Christina as well, Lock OP, Copium as a Demonology Warlock versus Woman on that team. We also got us a Chili Pilly who's going to be going for first versus Kentucky, playing out that Elemental. So for Chili Pilly, that might be the perfect matchup. Is going to get a stun up and running, going to be Earth Elemental available for Kentucky. Could go for a knockback on Chili Pilly as long as there's no Death's Advance. Kentucky taking lots of damage, so I have to go for heals or silence by Chili. And oh my goodness, just couldn't respond quick enough. The DK just came in with a full-on blown burst. And next up is going to be Lock OP Copium Crazer as a Demonology. Full stun on Chili Pilly as he's going to set up a gateway, actually able to set up a Demonic Circle. So he does have an escape. And as long as Lock OP can get himself a big old set of pets, and then drop down that pillar for all those pets to be empowered, he'll be in a great position. Gonna be interrupt onto the Vile Fiend, does allow him to get the Mortal Coil off. Chili Pilly does go for a Death Pact really early. I don't know if he meant to go for Death Pact or not, but he did use it. And that's gonna be all those pets. Are they gonna get empowered? Big blind by Chili Pilly on Lock OP Copium and some of those pets. So that's a pretty good blind actually, like just to CC the pets as well as the Warlock, reduce the value for it a bit. That could be pretty good. Watch out the pets. If they ever have this green fire around them, under them, then you know that they have extra burst and extra value for it. That's going to be a big old Fell... What's his name? He's not a Doom Guard. He's not a Fell Guard. Fell Lord? I think it's a Fell Lord, right? Going to be a big movement for Lock OP Copium. Chili is kind of low on health. Needs himself just a little bit more damage. Going to be a silence on the Lock OP for now. Is going to pass out the pet and sacrifice it for a little bit of health. Needs himself a little bit of healing. Lock OP isn't really throwing a lot of magic abilities at him, so the damage reduction with magic as well as the shield he can get is kind of I guess it's kind of questionable if he is going to be able to get any, because Lock OP isn't really using a lot of magic abilities versus him. Going to be a full interrupt on the nature hit. Mortal Coil into Chili Pilly, hits him with the fear right after him. Is going to go for a soul rot. It doesn't look like he's rolling with that conduit thing. So, oh, he is buffing up all the pets. Chili Pilly could take it out, actually. As long as that thing is out, those pets are going to do more damage, faster auto attacks, faster cast. It should be like a totem that he might be able to eliminate, unless it's not like a totem at all. Maybe Blizzard changed it, so it's nothing that you can actually do anything about. But those pets are going to be attacking him faster, casting faster, meleeing faster in general. So it should be really, really strong overall. Slow onto Lock OP. We'll see if that Chain of Ice is a perpetual slow, though. I don't know if it is or isn't. Remorse wants to try to see maybe if you can go for a stun into Lock OP. Is going to get the stun and silence, stunning the pet as well. Might be quite a bit of pressure. I think there's a full Chain of Ice that continues on for a while. Going to be a big old port for Lock OP. Getting a couple Demon Bolts in there. Recovering a bit of health too. I think it's a Battle Master trinket used with a Warlock Hellstone. Is going to go for a Fell Domination to resummon a full new pet. Full Tyrant coming out. Does he have the big drop for the pet empowerment? I think it'll be perfect. There goes the pet empowerment. Conduit. That's going to be anti-magic zone for Chili Pilly. As long as the Tyrant doesn't get the cast off, he should actually be kind of okay. It looks like the Tyrant is going to get the cast. It is empowered. All of them have fell under the feet. And Chili Pilly does get himself a Death Pact stun right after. Fell Lord comes in with a swipe, and down he goes. That Fell Lord guy. I think it's a Fell Lord at least, right? I think it's a Fell Lord. This is like a Fell Guard, right? I believe. I could be wrong, maybe? Look at that big boy. Look, oh, he just disappeared. That was such a close duel between the two, though. It was a lot of back and forth. Yannick's going to be up next as yet another Frost DK versus Lock OP Copium. Summoning up all the pets. Yandex is going to get his ghoul up and running a little early. Going to be a big old grip for Lock OP, stunning him right after. The second grippy hand coming out. And it's going to help him with the grips. Cannot escape him at all. Is actually going to get hit with a silence as a lot of the damage is ramping up. Stun shortened. Yandex does have a trinket for it. Lock OP is going to have the silence wearing off. Is going to have a port away. Might be able to use a gateway if he wants to. Going to be the pet empowerment conduit is dropping down. I don't know exactly what the name of it is. Like a Fell Obelisk, I think. Can he kill the Fell Obelisk? I think the Fell Obelisk does take damage. I think the Fell Obelisk looks like it does take damage. So for Yandex as well as Chili Pills, damage in that thing might actually be worth, because it doesn't have too much health. It should be killable. The pack was part of the PTR keybinds completely caused the deal. Oh, that is unfortunate. I did see Chili Pills. Yeah, your death pack was used like on a cooldown. So yeah, I could totally see that that was probably some kind of an issue there. I can totally imagine. Gonna be Lock OP. Hits Yandex into fear. Tyrant actually able to attack the guy that is feared now that you have better pet control. So Tyrant getting pretty big value for him. Gonna be Yandex with that extra shielding. Not even AMS. Actually, AMS is gonna use there, but he didn't have spell warding used. Except a lot of these pets are doing physical damage, so that shield can only do so much for you. Handigal down, dropping down by Lock OP. Should be able to take down Yandex. Big death pack comes out as we head in the 5-minute mark. 1% dampening rolling in. Silence into Lock OP, but looks like he's going to be surviving here just a little bit longer. Stun to Yandex, but I think the pets are going to take him out as the Obelisk does empower them. Faster cast from Mims, more auto attacks from the main pet. That's quite a bit of extra pressure, especially if you got a bunch of pets, and if you throw a Tyrant on top of it to empower those pets, even if the Tyrant doesn't get the cast off himself, all those pets empowered, attacking faster, could be quite deadly. Fellord dropping in, does get AoE stopped by Kisgod, could go for the blind onto Fellord as well. Looks like he's gonna go for a blind, get a knockdown. I think he did get knocked down by the Fellord. Fellord ignores blinds. That guy doesn't need eyes to swing his axe. But I guess also the blind, you know, the CC effect just doesn't work on him. I guess because he's a turret, he just doesn't move, he stands still. So the AoE blind just doesn't do anything for him. Kisgod, though, putting lots of pressure onto Lock OP Copium. That's going to be the Fel Obelisk joining the fight. Does Kisgod take it out? Looks like he's going to let it go through. Stunned up as those pets are going to start mauling him down. Looks like he has a bit of damage still left for Kreiser. Going to be a fear, sending him out of there with the Tyrant. Tyrant able to actually get the damage onto Kisgod with the Obelisk for a few seconds. Was able to get quite a bit of value. Kisgod might have to go bubble. That's going to be Ashen to stun all those pets. Interrupted Kreiser on Shadow, still able to get the demon casts off. That's going to be more Tyrant cast. No more. He is out of it. Kisgod does have to bubble as the imps are really ramping up their damage. That Tyrant did get quite a lot of value there, since you can't get it to auto attack while the enemy is hit with a fear, since it does follow your main pet's attacks. So if you feel like, basically, if you throw that here, a fear on the enemy, normally the Tyrant is like, oh, okay, I guess he's CC'd, I'm not gonna attack it. But with Kreisbad and Kreiser with Lock OP Copium, and the way that they set up Warlock pets, they're similar to the Death Knight pets. So if you put them on passive, all pets are passive. They'll mimic what your main pet does. But if you have your main pet saying attack while this guy's feared, your Tyrant is going to be like, hey, I got the permission as well. It's a really good way to make those pets much smarter. And it really comes down to the Warlock controlling the pets rather than hoping that the AI does things right. Because sometimes it doesn't do it, which is good. Lock OP and Kisgod still trading blows right now. 7 minutes into his duel, trying to go for a rep. Does land the rep from a distance. And should potentially be able to get himself a big setup, trying to build up some holy power. Wings available very, very soon. Normal bubble, so this man better have a go ASAP. Hodge or Blind might need to come down in order to make the damage happen. Mortical onto Kisgod. No way out of it just yet, unless he goes for a bop, and that's only going to do so much for him. He needs to get himself a go. He's just trying to get those judgments in. Stun around the corner for Kisgod. Is going to break out of it. Needs himself some healing at this point, and it looks like he does go down. Was that with the obelisk, or is that just like he fell behind on health? Might have fell behind on health. I think he was trying to save a lot of his holy power for damage. Maybe that's what he should have been like, you know what, I need healing, Word of Glory. I might be able to live to fight another day. Athwoman gonna be up next. Gonna hit with a slow turn evil onto the main pet, getting interrupted as well as stun. Lock OP is gonna be able to walk up next to him, getting more demons up and running. I wonder if Athaman is going to try to kill the Obelisk in the future. Big old port available for Lock OP Copium. Atha can stay in the Ashen, could throw a bunch of hammers at Lock OP. Judgments are definitely going to go through. It does have the Judgment for Dispels, so that might be helpful here. Mortical getting sent out. Lock OP is going to run in the other direction. And Athaman does play with a little bit of lag. That is something to note. Some of the EU boys have quite a lot of lag. Lock OP does have a trinket for the wreck that comes down. Stun onto Atha does have adaptation for it, or normal human racial. Going to be a Fel Lord during the fight. Athaman does get hit with a stun. Fel Lord does get stunned with a Wake of Ashes. Lock OP Copium taking lots of damage right now from Atha, though. Tyrant is going to be joining the fight. Athaman could go for a bubble here if he wanted to. And Lock OP summoning down the... He is summoning down the big obelisk. Gonna be a fear onto the Tyrant. The pet's still doing lots of damage. If he doesn't press bubble fast enough, he could be in a bad spot. Does press the bubble at the last second. And Lock OP has himself a gateway or port available. A gateway still set up in case he needs to take it. And Athaman should be able to survive a bit. Lagging definitely quite a bit. We really can see the lag here. So the mess is definitely doing very, very interesting things, to say the least. Mortical ascended Atha. Lock OP waiting out. I don't think we'll be able to take this guy down. I think Lock OP is going to be OP unless Athaman has a go. Hellstone actually denies it. And Ice Crafting to create a new Hellstone. Stun into a fear, interrupting that fear while Blessing of Protection breaks him out of that stun. Last immunity for Athaman does go for Wake of Ashes. I think he gets one of the pets. That's going to be Judgment getting thrown in. If only he delayed the Judgment by a hair, then he would be able to dispel that fear most likely. Because if he could get hit with the fear and throw a Judgment as the fear is about to leave the Warlock's hands, I think he might be able to have a long enough distance where by the time it's done traveling, it will dispel you, I believe. I could be wrong on that one, but I'm pretty sure it should dispel him. Turn Evil onto the main pet. Lock Up P is going to lock him out with that stun. Needs to get himself in a better position so the gateway and the port can be used. Stun to Lock Up Your Copium. Does that have the big go? It doesn't look like he has the big go just yet. Oracle was in the other direction with a Soul Rot right after. Lock Up P trying to go for a stun. Does land the stun. Pet empowered. Going to be a Vilefin joining the fight. Needs a couple more pets. Maybe with the Tyrant. Obelisk is coming down. Athaman trying to go for a Turn Evil onto the main pet. So at least he's going to stop some of that pressure. But Athar is still surrounded by all the demons. Wake of Ashes on a bunch of them. Try to see if he can walk up to Lock Up Your Copium. Does he have the blind for a big old go? Has the Hammers of Righteous though for sure. Dispels are available with Judgments. Maintaining himself, but it feels like those wings, he better max out the value on those wings as soon as he can. I don't know if he's a Seraphim build or not. Feared? Oh no. Lock OP looks like he's going to be able to whittle him down over time. No bubble for 2 minutes, so unless Lock OP can just win this duel and end it right here, it's going to be a little bit tough for Athawoman to come back, as I think he's a little bit behind. Next Tyrant. Oh, full Lord and Tyrant available. Every other pet is available actually. So if Lock Up P can get a bunch of pets at Athawoman and go for a full-blown Tyrant, the Fell Lord joins the fight. Could just Tyrant behind the pillar if he wants to. Shadow Fury. Tyrant and Fell Obelisk will probably be huge right now. Trying to get a Soul Rod. Those pets are doing work on their own. I feel like with the Obelisk it'd be even more pressure. I don't know what the cooldown is on Obelisk. Fell Lord almost doing the stun. They'd almost getting the stun as Athar did walk into his range. Stun from a distance. Shell Avenge is up for Athawoman. Trying to see if he can maybe survive this. Looks like survivability is not an issue for him just yet. Although I do think the lag is probably impacting quite a lot of it. Lord of Glories are still healing fairly strong at 43% dampening. Tyrant is getting used up as all those pets are up. Let's see how the Obelisk together with it. If he has the Obelisk, dude, those pets, the melee pets, will probably do enough damage on their own. It looks like the Tyrant is kind of bugged out. He's just staring at Athawoman. He's going to cast through a pillar. Oh, he's literally just trying to get a cast off the pillar for a bit there, wasn't he? Looks like the auto attacks are going to take him out. That was a rough one, man. That's rough. I think the MS on the EU for Atho is screwing him up more than Lock Up Your Copium, because both of them are EU, but different regions maybe. And Hunter has himself the full burst set up, ready to go. Big kill shots for Lock OP. Does have a wall to match up the damage. Gonna be a feign death for a second for Hunter. He is taking damage himself too. Lock OP just needs to get some more pets in there with a Fell Obelisk, and that could probably be the end to the Hunter. 48% dampening. Not a lot of healing could be added here. That's gonna be a big old port for Lock OP. The Eagles are flying. The Eagles are inbound. Repeat, the Eagles are inbound. Hunter needs to interrupt that life drain ASAP. Trick gets out of the stun. Mortal Coil, and that's gonna be him coming down actually. Was that a Battle Master Trick that fell apart at the end? Might have been Battle Master gonna fall off. Lock OP got 5 as demo. I didn't even realize that it was a 5 as demo. I honestly thought, was it really just Chili Willy and Chili Pilly and the Shaman, and then it was just Lock OP from there? Is that what that was?